Hello everybody, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the official Nick Walsh TV channel. We're live once again with a 50K challenge stream. But Nick, what is the 50K challenge? The 50K challenge is we're playing $50,000 worth of $10 spinning goes just to see what's gonna happen. And this is what it looks like so far. Yes, we are losing some dollars. It's true. However, let me put a slightly nicer spin on this. In fact, why don't we do this to kick things off? This is a nice way to start the stream. Let's open up a chest. We have a chest open, PokerStars. We've been putting in such a solid grind out here. We have a chest to open, and it looks something like... we have a chest open, and it looks like this. All right, 40 bucks. Very nice. That is our $40 direct rake back situation. It is a regular silver chest. Let's open up the Spin Go challenge folder here, and let's make a note of this because we're noting down all of our bonuses, guys, in meticulous detail. We literally just unlocked another $40 silver chest just a moment ago, but we're doing one today on the 21st of the 8th. and we're doing it in 2025. So we're going to write it down here just for the sake of completedness. However, we will update this in just a moment. Now, let me do this really quick, guys. Try my best not to dox myself while I open up Drive. Give me a second. I want to open up the correct file. Should be at the top here really quick. Yeah, here it is. Bonus tracker. All right, cool. Let's open up this bonus tracker. So you guys can see what this looks like. No problem. So this is where I'm actually doing the spreadsheet of everything that you just saw, but it's just going to do the math for us, so it's a little bit easier. That was for $40 cash. Thank you very much for the follow. There's Sky Arch. What's up, bro? How did it take you this long, you donkey? Where have you been? Welcome, mate. Good to see you, dude. It's always a pleasure. I hope you're well. Hope the family's good too. I like catching up with you on social media as well. But yes, here we go, guys. I don't know why I keep setting everything to the right, but there you go. Let's do that. Let's set all this to the left, and we'll set those to the right. There we go. That makes more sense. Maybe we'll give this a little boxy box. You know, I'm not going to do it yet. Anyway, this is all of C. And again, this is confusing itself again, isn't it? 1 second, guys. Copy, paste format, paste special, paste format. Oh, every single time. Texts, number, dollars. There we go. Now it's working. So $267.50 in bonuses. These are things that we unlock playing Spin and Goes or direct rake back from chess. We've been building up from the basic one. We're now on to silver. We're heading to gold very shortly. So overall, guys, we are actually up $47.50. Boom. $47.50 after 1,165 games. Take that. Guys, take that. No, we are slightly in profit despite not performing particularly well. These are the raw stats, guys. 1,165 games. That's 10,000, 11,650 games of 50K. Yeah, math is hard. 11,650, that makes sense. And we're down $220 minus 2% ROI. We have a 9.6 chip EV, which is about 10 chips away from break even. It's a little bit more than that. So what we need to do is put our heads down, focus, eyes on the prize, don't get carried away with the run bad and all that bullshit, and see how we can tighten the screws a little bit. Now, when we're playing a higher variance format like Spin and Goes with the new merged player pool, the places where you can tighten the screws, it gets a little bit tight because it's already a very tight format. So if you take a look over here, guys, we are heading in the right direction, but we need a couple more of these big upswings to balance these long flat stretches that we've been having. We are encountering a lot of regs that makes it difficult to profit overall. However, I have been putting in some time behind the scenes, both training the most frequent stack depths, heads up and three-handed, which has been going very well. That has been improving shortly, quite quickly, excuse me. However, the other thing that I did today, which I thought was an interesting experimentation, is I have a reasonable number of hands in my database, right? I have a reasonable number of hands in hand to note, hands that I've played personally. And I did some filtering today with the new hand to note to try and confirm some of the things that I think are going on here, much of which was confirmed. Let me pull this up. I did some raw notes here, and don't laugh at me, guys. All right, don't laugh at me because I'm a baby, and this is what I have to do to teach myself things. But this is how we're getting on. So what is this called? Poker notes. All right, so things that I have confirmed in database, or things that I am currently hypothesizing are true. People are limp folding a lot, blind view blind 11 to 13. Now, this is something I have actually done some more advanced filtering than this, guys. It's not just in general. I filtered for regs and people that I perceive as regs, people that I don't. Now, the 11 to 13 big blind limping thing should make sense because theoretically at 11 to 13 big blinds, we're not supposed to do that much limping. So it should be relatively weak. It should have a lot of hands in there that people are speculating over because they're assuming we're not going to attack as aggressively as we might. So we need to take a look at that strategy before we proceed because there's an exploit here somewhere. There was a lot of people limp folding 16 plus. This is another thing that I have long suspected. What I mean by this is after somebody limps heads up, 16 big blinds effective or deeper, there is a lot of all-inning. Just 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. Suddenly smelling burning toast, and I was like, did I burn something? Really strongly. The window is open. Okay, I hope everyone's okay anyway. Slightly elevated fold versus 3-bet all-in, small blind multi-way 16. This is written incorrectly. No, this is correct. This line is correct. It was the one underneath it that I think was most interesting. So 11 to 13 big blinds effective. This particular note. These are just general ones, but there's a couple in here that I have long suspected are incredibly exploitable, and also probably spots where we are exploiting ourselves because people are way too weird. 11 to 13 big blinds effective, three-handed on the button in a spin and go. The number of times in the last 1,000 games or so where I am shoving the correct range and we're running into bigger hands, despite myself, when I'm going, nobody ever really min raises here correctly. Everyone's just playing push fold. Even the good players aren't really playing the spot correctly. We're still doing the correct thing, and we're running into it more often than not. And for that reason, this is a spot that was so out of whack with GTO. It was like the actual frequencies were so broken at this particular juncture. This was a major deal for me. This one is a huge confirmation of something that I've been telling myself I'm going to look into more often, and it's something that I've wanted to over-adjust for, and I haven't been brave enough to do it yet. And now we have actual mathematical confirmation that this is something that we're going to be tackling today and trying to look out for. Now, again, I'll talk a little bit more about how I want to do this in just a moment, because this is all part and parcel to this challenge. The boring stuff will lead to the more fun stuff, which involves not sucking at poker. So I did some filtering specifically for reg versus reg and for recreational, which was just based on hands played overall. Open shove 12 to 16, much tighter GTO versus reg. That is fine. That's pretty obvious one. Fish shoving much wider than GTO. Okay. So something that I discovered that was actually a big standout one is when we filtered specifically for players that we've only played a few hands. We've used the term fish here, recreational. The fish are shoving much wider versus GTO versus limps 13 big blinds effective and less. This is super interesting because we do have a significant number of traps once we get under 15 big blinds effective heads up. In fact, we should have traps at all of the stack depths. However, it would seem that when I filter for players that I've played lots of hands with and then I filter for the rest, this is something that we see a lot of. Now, this is something that I guess I feel intuitively happens, but it was happening a lot more frequently than I expected, like a lot more frequently than I expected. And therefore, I think this means we should be trapping a lot more frequently with players that we've played fewer hands with. And it does sort of speculate that people panic as they get shorter. This should also just be more intuitive. This isn't like a massive discovery. Just simply that the numbers that I saw here were particularly elevated, like way more than I thought. So that is another interesting point. This is mostly for me and not for you guys, by the way, so just follow along if you can here. Okay, here's another one that is that has been tilting me forever. So, we all strive to be better poker players. We all strive to play the game better, closer to GTO. We all try and emulate computers when we can. Thank you very much for the follow. Tali, I love that name, by the way. So, I'm saying all this, of course, these are things that you can aspire to, but also we should all be aware of the fact that we should never do that if it's not an effective strategy. Now, in my studies of late, I have been particularly focused on studying versus the trainer. Now, my scores are pretty high in GTO Wizard, especially when you compare them to the raw sets that I plug in, and then compare that to GTO, because those are the ones I play against the real people. That's still a pretty high number, even though we are making adjustments specifically for the players we play. However, the frequency at which we are being ISO'd not all in heads up is so much tighter than anticipated, but I kind of already knew that. And actually, I feel like prior to this particular node, prior to limp raise defend heads up, prior to studying this, I feel like we played these spots way better before. because we were doing it more intuitively, because we were, rather than going, okay, cool, I'm a good boy, I'm going to follow the rules, we were going, okay, this guy like legitimately never bluffs in this spot. He just has like the top 5% of his range. We're just going to fold. And that was so much better. And I really put myself through the blender to try and improve, which is still a noble endeavor because it makes you better against good players. So it still has some use. However, I kind of forgot that back in the day, we would over adjust in this spot, and we want to massively over adjust. And then we would probably cry a lot more about being cold decked because we're not getting cold decked against the people who always have the nuts. So that's pretty cool. Also, the same was kind of true of regs. Obviously, to a lesser degree, they're much more studied. They're going to be ISOing non-all-in a lot more aggressively, and they're doing it with a broad range. They're doing it with a balanced range. So there is still an argument to over-adjust against the entire population, just less so against regs. That should also be obvious. Again, I'm stating the obvious. I'm saying this not because it wasn't inherently obvious to me, but just because I was confirming some of my own bias so that I can confidently adjust my strategy, knowing that it's based in fact and not just me making shit up in my head. Now, the fish are massively undershoving heads up, first hack, 9 big blinds and below. This is something that I've always suspected, and of course, if you guys have been watching a lot, we've been making very standard calls, heads up, 9 big blinds or less, like, should be very well, you guys should know your Nash pretty well by now if you want to play these games well, and we're running into it a ton, and it just felt like it was happening at a very high frequency, even against regs, but that's, I think, probably more to do with fairies. Now, look, that should be obvious. The fish are not going to shove the correct range heads up. That should be straightforward. However, when I saw the actual frequencies involved and I did some actual Equilab math, the range that we're supposed to be calling with against fish when they shove heads up is so absurdly tight. It's just like, it just makes you want to cry how tight it is. Now, there's a problem here. This is something we can do much more liberally when the blinds aren't going up every 2 minutes. Or faster, whatever it is. I think it's 2. If we are overfolding in these situations, we become extremely exploitable very quickly. However, in additional support of having a tighter range against all-ins, 9 big blinds, and low for players that we have played very few hands with, there is also additional support to evidence that they are overfolding when we're all in. So that means not only do we have evidence to confirm that our ranges should be adjusted tighter because our players are shoving, our opponents are shoving tighter, but also if we are going to make some larger folds, we do have evidence to suggest that by us playing a standard range as a pusher, we're actually going to win more chips in those situations. It should be a win-win. We should have a higher EV against the all-ins, followed by a higher EV of the implied equity that we get when we fold. Again, all of this is very obvious. The spots that we're looking at here are all things that I've long suspected to be true. I've just never seen the actual stats. And like I said, I don't play with a heads-up display, guys. So I'm never tracking this on individual players. I'm literally just looking at a filtered database where I've actually got hands against, players having played the game for a long time. And this is where we've arrived. And I'm going to try and bear this in mind. And we're going to play some poker. So anyway, guys, these are the stats. This is the graph. This is what we're working on. Now, will this get us a couple more chips per game? Let's see. Let's kick off with just some one tabling, guys. I want to try and feel the spots where I want to make the adjustments. I want to feel where the changes are going to go. And then hopefully as we add tables, they'll still come to us quite naturally. Hello, everybody in the chat, by the way. I've been talking over you. Leonardo in the chat. What's up? Good to see you, buddy. It's Big Daddy Blaze. It's Big Daddy Blaze. I know this guy. I know this man. Unless it's an imposter. All right, pretty straightforward here. King, queen of spades. Spade. Okay, queen. What's up, Pumplex? I miss everything poker related. Too much Dune Awakening. I want to try that game. That does look good. Thank you for the follow. It's almost September as well, Poker Bros. Good to see you, man, by the way. Hello, Raksha. Does the streamer ever read his chat or does he just babble? It's a good question. It's a great question. What's up, Tali? Hello, 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 hello. Full Spin Poker's here as well, buddy. Ciao, ciao. Ciao, Bella. Sky Arch. To be fair, mate, a lot of people are in the same boat. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Sorry, the other thing that I forgot to mention, guys, was we have a move here. 7 big blinds. We have a move. So the other thing that I have turned on, because we were struggling to turn off the heads-up display before when we were for tabling, the other thing that I have activated is, instead of disabling the HUD completely, I've created a new HUD that is literally just the player's name, so I know it's definitely the stat associated with them, and then the number of hands we've played together with this person. And so what we have encountered, what we've discovered here at this point, is a method to rapidly figure out whether or not we are putting people in category A or category B. Are we lumping people in the red category or in the recreational category, which is super helpful. And then we are also, we've also got some notes specifically on how we want to adjust for the different player types. First time chatter, McCoy is saying, what pool are you in for PokerStars? My spins start at 25. So I'm in the global pool. They just merged regular speed and flash together. So now we have a mix of different starting stacks depending on the overall chip EV, on the overall starting multiplier, excuse me. So against Blaze, we probably are supposed to be calling close to GTO. So we're going to stick this one in. Can we get lucky? No good. I think against Blaze, this is fine. Reg v Reg, we still have to kind of follow the rules, don't we? I believe so, Ed. I mean, that's his picture at least. This could be an imposter. We don't know. But that's the Blaze, I think it is. Yeah, this is definitely a call. Wish me luck, guys. Waking up with it. Send him home. 10. Ooh. Okay, there you go. Confirmed. New strategy is unbeatable. $20 in the bank. Next game, please. Hello, by the way, Ed. Good to see you, mates. Pumplex. Always a pleasure. Did I miss anybody? Nick, bring me toast, Walsh. All right, let's play poker. I want another banging session like yesterday, guys. Not gonna lie. So, how do we adjust? We have plans for these players. We have plans, you guys. We have major plans. Lava chicken. Ooh, little ASMR. Oh, lava chicken, yeah, it's spicy as hell. Okay, unbeatable strategy confirmed. 3x steal 15 effective was x4 off. Good to know. That is not as nice as it looks. It's not nice, though. It's okay. It's kind of growing on me. Okay, can we get King Queen anymore here, chat? Can we get any more King Queens? All right, we're going to start with the small bets. Very standard. Although, based on the way he played his hand just now, we maybe could have done something really wonky. King, Queen, unbeatable. Diamond. Nice hand. Yo, Lighter Maximo, what's up? Good to see you. Lava chicken. Oh, lava chicken, yeah, it's spicy as hell. Meerkat Bob says, what's the biggest random prize pool you've got on these 10s, and does the bigger prize change how you play? So, two things. The biggest prize I've ever seen in a Spin Go on my table was $150,000. That was when we had $15 buy-ins. I have a picture of it, actually. There we go. Definitely a call here. And Meerkat Bob, yes and no. If I feel like my opponents are adjusting incorrectly, then that's definitely something we want to try and exploit. However, usually we start from a baseline. We start from like what our standard strategy is, which is rooted in GTO. And we adjust specifically for opponents as we go. And if we have notes on those players or something before the fact, that's even better. Double Buddha, what's up? I'm a positive person. With the new adjustments, we will hit the 50K today. There you go. There you go. I'm feeling really good about it, honestly, guys. I find whenever we're on a bit of a flat section, a little bit of a downswing, I definitely find going back to the raw stats is good. We're gonna go broke here, guys. If he's got a jack, it's his hand. I always find going back to the drawing board and doing some study and surprising yourself and all that helps me level out, and it helps me restart it like a new day with a new fresh look on things. So there you go. There you go. You want adjustment? You guys want adjustment? You guys want massive adjustments? You guys ready for absolutely redonkulous adjustments? Unbeatable strategies? Unbeatable strategies. Massive adjustments, unbeatable strategy. ASMR San Pellegrino. Bellissima, bellissima. Oh, lava chicken, yeah, it's spicy as hell. We're not folding yet. Now the 4 is troublesome. But when he checks, we don't feel as bad. So we were check raised. He slows down on the 4, which is weird because why would he do that with a 10? So he is bluffing, right? No, just playing his hand like a weirdo. Nice hand. Just playing his hand like a weirdo. And that's okay. We just need to write that down. We'll be good to go next time. Cool. Play again. Lava chicken. 1,165 games. Still a long way to go, guys, but I do feel like we made some, like, since we've actually had a chance to sit down and do sessions, we've put in a decent shift, considering a lot of it was streamed as well. What's up, Syntax? Endlich normale Leute. Endlich normale Leute. Hello, John Edwards. We missed a limp there, guys. Not paying attention. We could have snuck in there with the Queen 4. One of those extreme short stack spots where we're basically playing heads up. Double the elimination power. Yeah, we're just going to call here for the equity, guys. Anything under 2.6 bigs, we have to spin. Yo, what's up? Thank you for the follow. Mr. Luke, what's up, dude? Thank you very much. What's happened to my... There it is. Okay, close that. We don't want to see that right now. Save this. Just started Million Mojo. Just started, so nothing to report just yet. Lovely stuff and good too. Thanks. Just at my lunch hour, spending lots of pennies I don't have on new swimwear and clothes for bar. So what a life. What a life. Truly. McCoy says, I'm a 50 spin rag in Michigan. I'm curious about your king-queen strat against the fish. I've been leading to call with king-queen versus big blind against fish, typically see how they over 2.5 x-rays. They always show up with an ace, even if they're shipping. Ace 4 I trust my post-flop ability, and basically I hit flop great, or if it is better for my range if I can get an ace to fold at some point. So your instincts sound correct. It sounds like you're in the right headspace. The way that you can balance this, though, McCoy, is you can just min-raise king-queen suited and then shove your king-queen off, right? Now, you could say, oh, that's unbalanced. Not really. If you do it correctly, if you do it from a GTO perspective, there's a way that you can balance that where it works fine in terms of your overall frequencies. But also, what you're doing is you're giving yourself the best shot to hit post-flop or to get some sort of a draw by having a suited hand. And that makes a pretty big difference. All right, next game. And if you believe that your player pool is soft enough, it could be that raising king queen off is still actually a better strategy because you're probably going to end up seeing more post flop than most, right? The biggest issue we have is if we're playing against good players. If we open king queen off and we get jammed on by like the correct range, we could end up folding the hand with too many. You could end up folding a hand with too much equity, or indeed the best hands some of the time. So that's why GTO does it. It's trying to be unexploitable, right? Trying to be no exploit, but that doesn't mean it's the best way to play against people. Poker Luca. But yeah, I think that if you can get away with it, obviously you do it. I would say that also it's a slightly different setup, right? Because you're playing an MI, you're going to be playing regular speed spin and goes. Playing the spins that I'm playing here that have a much faster clock. Probably those spots are better to be played a little bit faster just because it's an instant win. You know, it's like immediately profitable. And can we get there? We're straighting in both directions. What is Poker Luca leading on me here? What is Poker Luca leading on me here? Interesting. So there's not as much incentive for me to play those as slowly. Okay, we got action. Can we get away with this? And we shove the turn. Pretty standard. Wish me luck. Fair play. And there's the straight. Nice. Thank you very much, Pinger Zone, for the follow. I think Poker Luca's strategy here is perfectly fine, though. Limp call is going to be GTO. No dice on the flip. All right, so let's mark up. Let's mark this up really quick. King 9 suited, I think, is limp call. I'm almost positive. I am almost positive, but we'll mark it just for posterity. We'll check it out after the stream. What's up, Blue? Welcome, buddy. All right, next game. Sneaking a little trap here. Yo, Z Pierce, thank you for the follow. Ladder Maximo says, Graph Gang, a small anecdote. My first flash buying one was a 120x. I finally arrived second place. Last hand 10-10 for me versus 5s for opponents. Unlucky, mate. That's cute, though. I like that story. This is probably fine still. Yeah, let's play the hand this way. We're calling the 5. Obviously, we can fold to a shove from the big. Best of luck, King 5 of spades. All right. All right. Probably check call the turn with the queen high. Queen high for the win. Nice answer. And the 5-4 is just going to be a call here. This might work as a triple. He did play the ace-10 pretty cautiously just now. This might actually be a nice spot to go for 3. Yeah, the king should be good enough to shove river unless he does something weird and saves us. Okay, cool. That's a shame. We were setting up for it. All right, let's do this. And this is not the best run out to bluff, unfortunately. Although he also strikes me as the kind of person that would bet a king or a 9 on the flop, so let's go for it. Fair enough. I do think the check with the weaker kings on that flop is going to be pretty good too as a strategy. Very fair, very fair. Let's make a little note on that last one too, so we know for future. Because I think Lucas played that game very well. Can we get a spade, please? That works too. Oh dear. Okay, I don't know why you're playing King 10 like that, but that works for me. All right, we just dropped a little note on the previous opponent there, so we are aware of the check on the flop with the top pair. I actually think some of our weaker kings are supposed to have checks on those boards. I think it's very good. Good luck, Pierce. Good luck, mate. Right, see if we can close this one out. Two very short stacks. We won't be folding pocket fives, even if both players get it in here. Okay. Against this guy, let's just play this as a push. Don't think we know this guy that well just yet. Nice little cold deck here. The queen deuce is definitely the correct call, especially against us. And let's go ahead and fire away. Next game, please. All right, we will fire up some more tables in a little bit, guys. Again, I don't quite feel like I'm. Whenever I take time out to do study, I do feel like it takes a couple. It takes time. I don't know how long. I wish I knew how long. It takes me time for it to like settle in my brain. I think in the process of computing it, I do confuse myself a tad. But what I've always done in the past that's been worked for me is take the time out, try and do some study, try and learn something new, try and apply a new skill, or think about how you're going to apply a new skill, fudge it for ages, and make loads of mistakes, and then eventually I'm like, oh, I can't believe I wasn't always doing this. Thanks, dude. Well, at least it's going to a friend of the stream. I'll mark you as a friend of the stream, buddy. Good luck in your game. Okay. The blind v blind jam with the queen 10 is going to be fun, of course. Not really too much we want to change. I do want to look at that range later, though, so I'll mark that one for review. I can't believe after all these years I still struggle with blind v blind. It's just such a hard spot to play like correctly. It's very, very difficult to play it correctly. Obviously, the jam with queen 10 is going to be perfectly profitable, but it's such a weird blend there, and I think that is probably one of my weakest points in spins, as it is for most people, I imagine. Especially at these very awkward stack depths where we end up playing tons of push folds. If anything, the faster game should have simplified the blind v blind stuff, but we still want to try and get it right. Mateusz is back at the tables. Friend of the stream, by the way. Friend of the stream, by the way. Roasting has got some interesting notes here. Ace 5 no good here. That might have been a good example for some adjustment, I guess. It's a bit of a weird one. Okay. Once we get too shallow, there's a tipping point, right? So like I've made this whole song and dance about spots that I want to try and make adjustments, but I'm also discussing making adjustments in games that are like lightning fast. And there is a tipping point where you just shouldn't be making that much of a change. There's just not that much to be won just by pure math, pure frequency. There is an argument against players that we have marks in blue with those specific notes that we can still be tighter than that in that situation. And we should be brave enough to like think about that and not just be like, oh, cool, I can like, there's no chance we can fold here. There are certain spots where that's always true. I do think some of our weakest ace combos are hands that end up getting overly dominated against the adjusted range of our opponents. Yeah, Millionaire Mojo, of course. Yeah, it is very, very tricky. Shall we just bluff our ass off here? Let's just bluff our ass off. Or bluff for the best hand, you know? That is also fine. Pair of nines on the flop. We're not folding yet. Turning two pair is really nice. All right, turning two pair is real nice. We're going to check again and catch a bluff, I think. I don't think he has much of anything here. That works. Catching bluffs works. And against G-Star, we're going to have the fold here. I know that doesn't look like it's a decision, but we will play 100% against the right opponents. We will include 7 deuce as part of our limp. Deeper stack. Let's sneak this in as a min. Lovely. These are the deeps. These are the games that we live for, guys. I mean, even the 40s are still not as fast as we'd like. Even the 40s are not as fast as we would have liked. Or it's not as slow, excuse me. Not the same speed, I should say. Yo, Mr. Borat, very nice. Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate you, dude. All right, we're flexing on this guy. Heads up here. This feels good. All right, we're going to sneak in a trap with sevens. We're shoving over a ISO. We're going to call a shove. The full pot donk lead here is like whatever. It's hard to like really give them a real combo, but we are just going to keep an eye on that. If it happens too much, we'll adjust after the facts. I'm going to allow us to be exploited there for a little bit. Min-raise fold king 10 feels sad. Okay, we are gambling. We are gambling. We want to be aware of that. It is very useful to know. Now we arrive at this juncture. Now we arrive at the point where we might start doing something. It's happened more than once. G-Star slows down. We bet 1/4 pot on the turn. See? 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 Because it's not the fastest spin on planet Earth. We have time to actually see what our opponent is doing and then make an adjustment. And it's pretty cool. It's actually pretty cool. Now, what do we do a king for? Let's take this to a flop this time. Yes. Trying to understand why you would full pot a queen or a 6 here. Still don't understand it. That's a really annoying river, but okay. Oh, just the king high call down. No big deal. Mr. Boy, very nice. No problem, mate. No problem. It's not a problem. You don't need to apologize, mate. Who was it who was saying they really hate when people apologize in poker? It was it Alex O'Brien? She's like, I'm so sick of people telling me they're sorry for busting me. You're not sorry. I think it's nice, Mr. Boyd. I appreciate the apology. Thank you, mate. King high for the win on the river? Unbelievable. Unbelievable techers. Unbelievable techers. I just don't know. Just don't know what these sizes are, bro. Okay, he actually has the hand. That's funny. He actually has it this time. He actually had it this time. The sizing tell gave it away for me, but we still got punished. My poker name was Royal. Yeah, no, I got you, buddy. I got you. Don't worry, mate. I understand. I was very lucky. I actually had the chance to change my my poker name when I became a member of Team Pro, but that's pretty much the only time you're allowed to do it, except for very, very specific other situations. All right, can we get a comeback? That was not justice. This is not justice. Back to 9 bigs. All right, so against this player, so far, I think he's given us reason to believe we're allowed to sneak in here. 6-4 is a fold here pre-flop. But we are going to do this because what we've discovered from G-Star is he likes to attack high boards as a bluff, as a lead. We want to note this down. All right, chat, wish me luck. A6 has got to be in here. Just a cold deck, unfortunately. A6 too good to folds. This is another very good example of how we lose games. Outplayed on every street. What's up, John? Good to see you, buddy. Outplayed on every street. And then we take a bad beat on the river with the 2 pair. And then we get cold decked with A6. I think if we start folding a hand like A6 for 7 bigs, we're being way too tight. Like ace deuce, ace 3, ace 4, we might even still find the scope to fold those, but from a theoretical standpoint, it's probably already like way too tight. The problem that we encounter is that there are just certain players who are just not shoving anything heads up. They're just the epitome of tightness. I don't think that player was particularly tight, though, to be fair. He had game. He was messing around. I don't think he had some interesting leads. He was trying to be clever. I'm lucky in love. It's true, full spin poker. It's true. Lucky in love. I'm lucky in life, really, full spin poker. I shouldn't complain about poker at all because I am very lucky in life. Lack better name, what's up? How is this the first time, buddy? How is this the first time we've seen you over here? That's crazy. What's up, mate? What's up? Welcome. We're out here. We're playing spins. We're playing spins. We're trying not to be terrible. That was a very unfortunate heads up. I think we were on the right side of the EV though. Gabriel. I think Gabriel is definitely a reg at this point. Probably just give him the note as such. Queen Jack of Diamonds, baby. Depending on how small Gabriel bets here, we probably still have to float, I'm afraid. Oh. Should we play this like we have a 10? That'd be kind of cool, right? Gabriel! Man, player just way too good. Here is a guy that is way too good at poker. You know, in all honesty, we probably shouldn't have bluffed the turn at all. Queen Jack just has showdown. I really don't know what the fuck we're doing. Yukoro, what's up? Thank you. Denvis, good to see you. Just check Queen Jack on the turn, actually. It's kind of whale behavior just about that turn. It's not, like, terrible, but probably we don't need to bluff. We have Queen Jack Diamonds. I think it's because I mostly watch you on the PokerStars. No, of course, no. That's exactly what it is, mate. I'm teasing you. That's exactly why. You're like the third person who's come in today and been like, I didn't even know you had your own channel, and that's perfectly understandable because I haven't streamed on it for forever until this year, basically. Jack High, guys. I have Jack High. I have Jack High, and there is a 0% chance that we are losing. Nice hand, buddy. Is that the second time you limped the button with an ace? Let's make a note. So that was ace. The ace deuce of hearts was the limp call, right? Okay, cool. So we are going to do this, and then we are going to do this. Limp button multi-way was weak. Ace X times 2. GG. And yeah, we have notes for future. I mean, part of the hero call there, of course, is because your friends shouldn't really have too many aces in those spots, but that's okay. We have notes now. We'll know in future. We can exploit in future. What we should have done is remembered 5 hands before when he limped ace deuce. That probably would have made a big difference. The fact he doesn't bet any street though as well is also another issue, but whatever. It is what it is. Full Spin Poker in the chat is coming with me to Barcelona for the Spin Go Championships, of course. I made that sound like I was inviting him, like, and he was like staying in my, he was like camping out in my room. We're both in attendance because we're both going, and I'm looking forward to seeing him. We also have Zintex as well in the chat, who's also qualified. It's going to be fab. All right, ace, trade, spades. Going to be good enough. War of the Caveman, thank you for the follow. Pretty much a coin flip. Okay, we take a tray. Min raise call with ace 4. I don't think so. I don't think that's a thing. I don't think min raise call it off with ace 4 off is the thing, but we'll keep an eye. Okay, we have one of these ones. We're doing one of these. One of these ones. One of the special ISOs. One of the special ISOs. Yeah, I think we probably can assume this is one of the rare blue to yellows. I say rare, it's actually not that rare at all. We do want to keep an eye on those notes though. Can you believe this call down? Can you believe this? Do we turn our hand to a bluff? Do we turn our hand into a bluff? That is actually not a terrible spot to turn your hand into a bluff. He has a hand that he can call with, but that's still a hand that could be folded as well. It's weird. My instinct to bluff was right. It's not the worst combo to deal with. But we were floating because we actually had queen high in a pretty reasonable spot as well. That's not right. Okay, next game. Next top supporter. I actually have a shirt right here from Full Spin. Check this out. Check this out, guys. This is an official Full Spin Poker t-shirt. Official. I knocked out Full Spin Poker at Spin Go. Woo! For anyone interested on how Nick and me are doing on the grind on tour here on Twitch, we'll be streaming Spin Go championships on their channel. It's true. We're going to be doing a lot of streaming in Barcelona. There's also another one. There's another one with a donkey on the back. I'm not entirely sure if he had permission to use these full tilt images, but we're not going to tell anybody. Shh, just be quiet. It's fine. Just be quiet. Okay, so do we call? Do we shove? I think we can actually just peel. It's an under raise, and then we will reassess on the flop because we won't be folding. Let's go ahead and bet something like this. You can get ace highs to fold. That'd be kind of cool. Increase the equity a smidge. My main label transition is from donkey to follower of the stream. Perfect. Yeah, there's going to be a big, there's going to be a lot of streaming. If you guys like poker, make sure you're watching the Barcelona streams because there's going to be a lot of content coming out. This ain't going to cut it. All right. Live cards are nice. Live cards in the best hand. The other one is in black, the other t-shirt, okay. Let's just go for it here, guys. We get it in good. We said good. I said good. I said good. Phineas and Ferb using full tilt images. It might be time to change this this image, by the way. Oh man, this is huge. It's a huge spot. Huge spot. The double domination. Is 9-7 supposed to overcall there? Or was he the shortest stack? Oh, he's short. Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Jack 10 is fine as a call. 20 bucks. We did it. We managed to win $20. Next game. Eagle Hunter, afternoon. All right, we could probably open some more tables in a sec, guys. It is. I don't feel like we're activated just yet, to be honest, but maybe it helps when we actually open up a couple more tables. Already done the meal prep for next week. Nice one, Ed. Nice one. Very exciting indeed. Yeah, let's just run this one. Let's just run it. We are at 14 there as well. I rely on other people feeding me. I go hungry. I don't know, Raksha. I usually just go straight to Deliveroo. We have so many options in Brighton. They're so good. In fact, speaking of which, I got to check my Yahoo Mail because I'm having an argument with somebody at Deliveroo right now. Yeah, I'm not winning that argument anyway. Absolutely pathetic. I spend so much money on Deliveroo, and then I made a legitimate claim because some of my orders spilled. And they're like, oh, you didn't take pictures of the actual items. We can't help you. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. That's like, it's like being like a top casino reg and you're losing $1 million a year. And then the casino's like, are you sure you put your card in the machine, Mr. Johnson? You sure? Pair of 8s any good? Eagle Hunter, so. We need to kick it up a notch here. I think we need to open some more tables. I think we need some more tables. I need to get comfortable as well. This desk is not doing the job. This desk is not the one. Okay. Nice to have the best hand here once in a while. Just by a smidge. It's pretty much just a flip, but we'll take it. This guy does seem quite reggy as well. Manugino. Argentino. It's not delivery, it's a donk lead. That's it. Manugino. Oh dear. Yep. I was concerned about that before the jack came, but the jack certainly helped us get to showdown. That was nice. Pretty annoying spots. I try to limit it to once a week when me and my daughters have a girls' night in. I mean, that's nice. And actually, Raksha, you know, I actually enjoy cooking. I mean, Deliveroo is so big in Brighton, though, we can actually just get deliveries or groceries ordered as well. Excuse me. There are other services. Having it all built into one is really useful, though. And it's not that much more expensive if you're a Deliveroo Plus member. I'm like the big boy version of it. The big boy paid version. The you spend way too much money on Deliveroo version. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Can't miss. It's impossible. I stopped ordering from my favorite place after it took about 90 minutes to arrive and was freezing. I called to complain. They just said, "What do you expect us to do about it?" Nothing. That's fine. But yeah. I mean, this situation in London really tilted me because I don't make like false claims on Deliveroo or anything like that. And it's usually pretty good, especially in Brighton because it doesn't have to travel far or whatever. Oh my God, this is so dire. Cannot get out of this hole here. Stuck under 5 big blinds. Okay. Okay. GG. I just got done talking to my brother who delivers for Uber Eats, Grubhub, and DoorDash. Usually it's really good. I don't usually I very rarely complain, and then when I do expect it to be respected. Why such a big check raise? Jesus. And I guess you win. Don't really have a hand to play back with either, which is problematic, but takeaway around here is so bad it's just called yeet. It's called just yeet. Perfect. Very good. Just yeets. All right, we get lucky. Robert, thank you very much for the follow. The rare 3-bet. The rare 3-bet, not all in. Stoyle, thank you for the follow. So we did get a lead from Manu here. Obviously, this can just be a 9. It can be diamonds. There are quite a few missed draws here that we are unblocking. Okay. That makes sense. And wish me luck. This is a call. Can we just finish it? Millions of outs. All right, cool. Next game. Cheeky 4X. Nick hates being cold. I love being cold. Exception to cold pleasure. Yeah, that is true. Curling Master knows. I'm actually not fussed about cold deliveries. That doesn't bother me. It was ruined because like there was some salad that had like dressing on it that had opened, and then there was like an actual juice that was spilled everywhere. Cannibal, thank you for the follow. I'm not fussed about cold deliveries though. I don't really. I don't know. People are like, ew, no, I have to have this piping hot. I'm like, you cook it piping hot, sure, but it doesn't always have to be hot. Like, cold pizza is awesome. I love cold pizza. Ruth is always like, I've got to put it in the air fryer. I'm like, you can. You could, I suppose. That would be nice. But it's cool without. Oh, that was Shano. How's it going? Thank you for the follow. Cannibal, Stoyle, Robert, appreciate you guys. Wara, Mr. Borat, very nice. Mr. Borat, very nice. We take it. We take it. We take it the spots. We take it the spots. Treat. Cool. We'll just run into Ace Jack every time. That's cool too. All right, let's mark that one for review. I don't know why we're doing that because it's going to be 100% push. I don't know why I second guess myself, but we're going to take a look at that later on, guys, as well. And it's going to be 100% push. So we'll just double check our work. We'll just double check. I was really hoping to win $40 there, but I guess we're just gonna have to settle for. Guess we're just gonna have to settle for 30 in this game. Drunk Jokers, thank you for the follow. That was a snap check on the flop. The snap check on the flop was 10 deuce, no hand, no draw, and there's a 10 on the river. Because, sure. Sure. That makes sense. Ten high float. Where's the 10 high float? I hate that. I once got noodle soup delivered and like half the soup had gotten out of the container to the bag was kind of a fan of the delivery. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. To be fair, my guy hadn't noticed, and is everywhere. But like, I don't think he noticed because it came straight out of his bag and went straight into my hands. But yeah. Queen high for the win. Queen high for the win. Is he value betting a deuce? Or is it queen high for the win? Close. Definitely wasn't value betting. Oh, nice. That is a nice surprise. That's a nice surprise, isn't it? Pair of threes. Okay, so no bluff Bill. I just made that up. The guy's a no bluff Bill. No bluff Bill, eh? John says, yes, cold pizza fan here too. The wife always makes a face when I eat it that way. It's come on. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here, for real? What are we talking about here, gang? Charlie, you gambling, mate. You gambling. $30. Let's take it. Jeffrey Wad, what's up? Hello. You gambling, fam. Yeah, one thing. Yeah. Okay. Dave Down Under. Dave Down Under. Let's see what we got. Okay. We need another big upswing here, chat. We need another big upswing. PokerLogy. PokerLogy. Blinds are up. Fantastic stuff. Blinds are up. been nicer that the flop wasn't 8-8-9. Pokerlogy. Pokerlogy. See, I've always wanted that to be like pokerology, pokerology. But it's just pokerlogy. Nice. Feels good. And what's up, Mystic River? Thank you for checking out the challenge. Hello, Mac. How you doing, bro? Oh, we get action from 10-9 of spades. That's kind of nice. Unexpected, but welcome. It's unexpected, but it's very welcome. All right, cool. That's a win on the right. We have a flush draw. We have a flush draw and a straight draw and king high on the turn. What's the point of betting here? Do we really... We're not going to get anything to fold. We could just have the best hand right now. It's not impossible. It is not entirely impossible. I don't think Manduzino ever bluffs like this, though, so that's the thing. Yep, correct. And the fact that we lost to that hand is also kind of a sad story, given the fact we are such a monster. Given the fact we were so monstrous. King high float, picking up the spade draw on the turn. Now a pair of fours. And there is a big bet on the river. I'm not sure how to respond to this one. We're trapping with the ace 10 of spades. This is a call, of course. Quite successful. This one feels like a fold for some reason. My energy, my aura is informing me. Sorry, guys. I don't know why we still struggle with that. Millionaire Mojo says, if I had $100 for every time you push king 3 into a better king, I would try. Maybe I should just always fold king 3. I was investigating that this morning, Millionaire Mojo. How much of my problems are self-inflicted is what I was investigating. how much of my inner turmoil is self-inflicted, and we're trying to make some adjustments today. We are currently on 1,182 games of our 5K total. PokerLogy, PokerLogy, PokerLogy. PokerLogy. Ace king, ace king, sure. That makes sense. 3 checks out. Treat. Shoving Jack 10 into kings, not exactly the most ideal situation, but also not the worst. It actually could theoretically be worse. It could theoretically be worse than that. Cameron Lutartegal. Friend of the stream, by the way, right? The official Lutartegal. All right, ace jack. Let's just take a flop here. We can't lose. It's impossible. I think it's impossible to lose. It's impossible to lose. Our hand is under-repped. Our hand is so under-repped here. Our hand is so under-repped here. It's absolutely sickening. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Easily enough on the turn. We're getting action. We're getting action, guys. We're all in on the river. Our hand is under-repped. He's gonna call us with king, queen. King deuce also works. Yo, JT, what's up? We're gonna try and bring the presents home, mate. Good shout. Good shout. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. All right, let's start with the bet here. And then let's push the jacks. Pair of fours on the turn. Ooh, could we bluff this river? Ooh, should we give this a go? We're blocking queen jack. We're blocking queen jack. It was a great move. It's a great move. I just don't know why nobody ever respects it. It's actually a really good move. And I am here for it. I'm here for it. Where's my heart? This is not the river we're looking for, huh? Not against the non-believer. Ooh, good thing there's no heart. Lutartegal. Lutartegal. Queen 9. So we haven't really played with this guy much, so that's our new rule. This is our new rule. This is how we're playing poker these days. This is how we're playing poker now. This is how we're playing poker. These are our new traps. New traps. Oh, why did that not work? Cody Master says, I just beat ace-ace and ace-ace with king-jack with a runner straight. It feels so good, but you also kind of feel like you should go take a shower after that. I hear what you're saying. I know what you mean, bro. King-jack. We see the flop. We see the flop. We call the flop. 10 would have been nice. It is quite difficult to call two barrels. The check on the turn is nice, I suppose. King Jack for the win? King Jack for the win, huh? We're going to limp King Jack. If he shoves, we're going to call. Okay, we're going to set this one up for a big push on the river. Wish me luck, guys. We are technically beating straight draws and flush draws, though, so that's something. We probably don't need to bluff here. Yeah, this is the player that never folds this one, too, so fair enough. It's not exactly the best run out to continue the bluff either, which is annoying, because we had a plan in mind. Joan, thank you for the follow. There's probably a tell here, but we can still do this. I think Peter might have a monster, to be honest. But he gives us a good price with the extra big blind in there. Nice. Any two cards. Keel over there on YouTube chat, how's it going? Gonna trap queens. There's a good chance this is very unbalanced at the stack depth, but that's okay. Not gonna be sad about it. Our opponent really shouldn't have too many kings here, given the pre-flop action. But I can tell you one thing, if he has an 8, we're gonna get the whole stack. Or a bluff, that works too. This is any two cards. I hate it, but it's any two cards. The price is too good. 20 bucks in the bank regardless, and we will accept. All right, $40 game on the left. Here's our next target. Against the reg. Oh my god, this is so gross. That is a very tight fold. Hello, Mr. Bold Poker. How's it going, buddy? How you doing, mate? Everyone check out Gold Poker sometimes, yeah. He's Gold Poker sometimes. Go and check out Bold Poker, guys. My friend and poker colleague. Is this from Barca? Very excited for the coverage of the live spin championship. Me too, buddy. This is not live from Barca, no. Still in Brighton until next Monday. I'm going to Amsterdam tomorrow. Super excited about that. I think we're just gonna push. Wish me luck, guys. He is technically gonna have a lot of strong hands here, though, so it is a bit of a weird one. This one makes me really, really sad, but... Oh my god. Did we not have any time bank? I guess we didn't have any time bank. Great. Got too excited about Joe Bold being here. And then I'm just going to run Ace Jack and Ace King. Oh, I've tilted myself now. I have tilted myself now. It's always a small pocket pair when the reg open jams. Well, yeah. That makes sense. Maybe don't fold the straight flush draw on accidents. That is gonna really tilt me now. That one is gonna really tilt me now, because then we proceeded to call dominated, shove dominated. Well, yeah, you're supposed to have other shoves with blockers as well, McCoy. Those are the ones that everyone always misses, though. I've got the range if you want to see it, probably, depending on the stack depth. Oh, don't fold the fucking straight flush draw, you dumbass. Honestly, why do I bother? Why do I want to hurt myself so bad? Why do I punish myself by being such a stupid dummy? Why do I punish myself for being such a stupid dummy? Eternal Witness, what's up? Says, hi, Nick. What do you think about the new hybrid format Spin and Go? Honestly, I don't like it so much as before. I much prefer regular speed Spin and Goes, buddy. I'm not a fan of all flash all the time. I think there is a way to do it. That is a mix of the two, but I think that this is too much flash for me personally. I prefer regular speed. Bets flop, checks turn, Shoves river. Okay. No luck with that one. He turns up here with Jack 7 with the Jack of clubs. That is interesting. Okay. Good hero call there. The move didn't make a ton of sense. It does, John. It does. It does, mate. We should just move on. Four lulls. Yeah, Eternal Witness. I've had a conversation with Stars about it already, about how I feel about the change. I had a frank, honest conversation. I think probably after Barcelona, I want to start writing down some ideas about things I think we could do to make it better. It definitely presents a different kind of challenge, which I don't mind at all. But I think that a lot of people that I know would like a better mix of the two. Giant bet on the flop is interesting here, but that's still obviously always going to get these chips in the middle, guys. So, yeah, just the hero call in the river is fine. Slightly deeper than we think. Four lulls is probably another good example of somebody who is definitely a reg, has some unusual lines that we need to be aware of. That's why we've got them jotted down, but otherwise, you know, pretty good. The blue tag went in there for a specific reason, but probably worth updating that shortly. Yep, we're going to get cold deck no matter what on the left. Ace-6 of spades not folding for 6 big blinds, straight into aces, because sure. Dominating Jack-7, no good on the right. Okay, we go again. "4x multiplier, come on." Eternal Witnesses, yeah, I played 2 years professionally on normal, but now not too much downswing and too much reg. I'm switching to cash games. Fair enough, mate. Best of luck in the cash games. Streets. I do love a cash game myself. Do love a cash game. Thank you, JT. I appreciate that. I'll tell him you said that as well. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Eternal Witness. I do think that there's an opportunity to find a happy medium. That's how I would have described it. Yeah, Ed, I didn't even realize that was the case. I'm not sure, full spin. I'm not sure, mate. Oh, it's not your fault, Eternal Witness. If I'm losing focus, it's all on me. Don't worry, buddy. Really? Yeah, I mean, it's a Nash call, obviously. I think we're too short probably to fold this one. Yeah, wish me luck. Oh, but we can chop. Okay, that's interesting. We can chop. That's also a possibility, I suppose. JT, right? Yeah, I forgot we spoke about that. That's right. That's right. We're getting check raised in a frankly hilarious spot. The 4 is actually a really bad turn, though. 3-5 is definitely a hand that people like to check raise here. Has a bluff. Ugh, woof. Probably not, huh? We have a gut shot. We have a gut shot. We have a pair. Not sure about that one. I do feel like we have fold equity is one of the major things. I do feel like we actually get it in good once in a while too, against the right kind of hand. I feel like we could even get the best hand to fold once in a while. I don't know if it's just distribution, but I do feel like we find ourselves in a lot more ugly spots in this format. I feel like we often find ourselves on the wrong end of the coolers. Just get lucky against aces because that's how easy it is. Dominated again. 2 hands in a row. Jackson to aces, king 5 and a king 8. That's not fun, is it, guys? This doesn't feel like fun. That doesn't feel like we're having fun. That doesn't feel like any fun. All right, we're going to win $30 on the left. I'm hoping we're going to win 20 over here on the right. Oh, did not mean to pre-celebrate. I thought we were all in for the win there. Comeback is still possible. All right, so reg v reg, guys. Queen 8's going to be a call. As you can see, we are going to actually encounter the correct range, and therefore it's appropriate. We do need to be extra tight against the right opponents, though, like we've been discussing before. We are going to make it work. We are going to make it work for us, chat. Interesting. I'm going to play the hand weird. This could be another cold deck. Good spot over here. This geezer just wants to give it up. Geezer wants to give it up here. Good spot. Don't do it. Nice stuff. So again, Pokerology, just Reg v Reg spot. I think we just take it here. We're calling here, you know, at a in the correct frequency here for this player. That's the second time we got him. We're gonna chop, but we do put the money in good. Entree, not quite. Wow, bottom of range, bottom of range. Bottom of range. Definitely a call. Let's size up a little on the turn. We're getting check raised. That's interesting. Super weird, but okay. Super, super weird, but I don't mind at all. Pokerology, Pokerology. 10-5 is out of range. Pair of sixes. Good trap with a king 10. GG. King 7. Vinicius, thank you very much for the follow. How you doing? Good to see you, buddy. Confused by that, but okay. Marcos del Rio. Marcos del Rio. Marcos del Rio. Wish me luck, guys. King 10 of spades. Domination, not quite. Post flop flip. Post flop flip, no fucking good. All right, nice hand. Good game. Next game. More poker, please. $30. Let's go. Marcos del Rio. Imper Jim, thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate you. Marcos del Rio. We will not be folding pocket threes. This is not a good turn for pocket jacks. Marcos del Rio. That's nice. Good to get to showdown for cheap there. He turns up here with 9 high. Just decided not to bloof, which I think is very wise, given the way the hand played. It might be a little bit loud, Zintek, yeah. I think I can turn it down a little bit. Follow alert. Try that instead. Pretty easy game. Pretty easy. Stop in chat says it keeps scaring the shit out of me. I will, I'll try and turn it down. There you go. Is that better? Is that a bit better? Steel, thank you very much for the follow. Let me know if that was any better, you guys. Okay, getting trapped by the worst hand feels good. The limp with Jack 10 suited. Limp call is correct, though, to be fair. That one is approved. Boo, boo, boo. Should be a good spot. Usually these are good ones with the suited ace-9. It was a good spot, but not good on this occasion. Running into king 10 is fine. Just gotta hold the monkey. You just gotta hold the monkey. Much better. Okay, good, guys. Thank you for the feedback. Still loud, but in a perfect way. Okay, fair enough. That's good. I feel deflated, guys. I feel like we're still stuck in the doldrums here. Yo, lack better name. Thank you very much for the community gifted sub. You're far too kind, mate. Really, really far too kind. All right, we're feeling kind of deflated here, chat. I don't feel like we're making progress today, and we were making really good progress yesterday. I do feel like we're playing a fuckload of regs right now, which makes it very difficult to win because many of these guys are pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. The ace-9 shove here is perfectly acceptable. Lat better name, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Enjoy your rest, and we'll see you next time. Boards are not cooperating, John. That's quite right. Quite right, mate. I'm going to check shove the river here, guys. Wish me luck. This is a really good combination to bluff with. Seeger, thank you for the follow. Two pair might be an okayish call here, but I think the check raise is super strong. Okay, interesting. So obviously a good move. He had to think about that one. If we were playing anybody else, that would be flying through, but we're playing the best in the world. At the moment, lots of regs, buddy. At the moment, lots and lots of regs. But this also could be a timing thing. It's the middle of the day on a Thursday. I should probably do some day analysis as well, because I think there are certain days where we play a lot more regs. So, yeah. I really like that move as well, guys. It's so strong. It's such a good play. It's actually such a good spot. We have the perfect hand for it. We're blocking the straight and the flush. It's pretty much fucking magical if I'm just running into kings. Okay. Just running into kings. Don't mind me, everybody. Don't mind me. Don't mind me just running into kings. You're gonna min 3-bet me, huh? You're gonna min 3-bet me. You've got top set. Nice, well played. Very good. Very good, very good, very good, very good. Harbinger for Barca. I'm definitely getting all my bad luck out now before Barca. All these cold decks are going my way in Barcelona, I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now. I'm just getting all this bullshit out of the way now so we can enjoy Barcelona together, guys. Ten. Oh my goodness. What a tough game we play. Zintex says, haha, I was thinking the same. Yesterday's session was devastating. Probably not going to play any more games after choosing to keep the mindset positive. That's not a bad shout. I am really struggling right now. I just feel like I'm smashing my head against the wall. Like we're kind of just not doing much of anything right now. It's just a ton of distribution. Seeger, the biggest I've ever hit in Spin and Goes was this one, buddy. I feel like we're just smashing our head against the brick wall right now, and that is making it tough. So we might consider calling it quits pretty soon because I don't feel particularly inspired right now. Don't feel particularly inspired. Piotr, how's it going over there on YouTube? How big must your bankroll feel safe in this format? I would say at least 200 buy-ins, especially since the player pools merged. Now the game is even higher variance than before. We have certainly felt the sting of the variance ourselves already. So it can happen to anyone. We are technically still in profit after rewards. Is that still true? Yeah, it's still true. Just a little bit, but we're in profit after rewards in a situation where we're not really in profit in the game itself because we're not winning enough chips, but that's what we're trying to work on here. It is very difficult in the new version of Spin and Goes to tell how much is luck and how much is skill, because we found ourselves flying at times, getting wrecked at others, and I feel like we're playing the faster version the best we've played it so far. I think there is a correlation between the number of regs in play and our win rate, of course, as well. So the other weird thing, though, as well, guys, I tried to play an evening session the other day. I played at like 10 o'clock. Maybe it was later. I can't remember. Maybe one of the mods can remind me. But we set out to... set out to play an evening session, theoretically going to be playing a softer field, and it was even more reg heavy than this. So it is a little bit difficult to know what the dealio is. Definitely a call here against the reg. Wish me luck. Queen 9, way too powerful. Queen 9 suited, man. I never any doubt. Queen 9 suited, never a doubt in my mind. We are trapping with the 9s, of course. Yes, Nick, you need to be at the top of your game for this challenge. Focus on the mental game. True. I'm trying my best. We showed up in a pretty good mood today as well, and I don't want to make out like I'm like dying in a ditch right now, but not feeling super inspired. Not feeling super inspired right now. Do we care enough to fight for that pot? No. Technically, yes. Technically, yes, pocket fours. Give him the straight flash. It's not the street flash. I didn't say give him the straight. I said give him the straight flush only. You're only allowed to give him the straight flush. I did not give you permission to give him a straight when we had a set. You cheeky monkeys. Yeah, exactly. I'm not a win right. No variance is high in these games, so when you run 5 times in aces, always over pairs getting crushed runner runner. It's not. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's just variance. It really shouldn't shouldn't make that big of a difference, but I do feel like we're at the wrong end of our the randomization here a little bit. We have actually run above expectation in chips, like in terms of actually like running above EV in the spots we've played. However, I do think our EV is taking a hit as well as a result of the variance. All right, I'll tell you what, guys, we'll wrap it after these games. We'll wrap the session up there. Take a little break. You're out of snus. Never a good place to be, mate. Never a good place to be. There it is. All right, cool. So, guys, that's going to be a wrap for today, but don't go anywhere. We're going to do some review really quick. Let me just close PokerStars. And we'll take a look at some results. So, overall, guys, this is where we are at. Minus $300 on the challenge. That means we're slightly losing overall after rewards. 1,217 games played. Chip EV 7.2. This is horrific. We actually had an absolutely awful session today. This was all downhill today, but like in the most unexciting way possible. We put in a really good shift yesterday. We had a couple really good games, and we've just all gone back, unfortunately. Again, it's very difficult to work out exactly where we are going wrong here. I think we're doing a lot of stuff right. I do feel like we're on the wrong side of a lot of these all-ins. I mean, we must have run into aces, what, 4 times today? And that's going to look bad on a graph. It's not even the same as running into ace-king. You just have no equity, and you're getting decimated in stacks. I think we pulled off a couple nice bluffs today as well. We are playing against some really good players who made some really good calls. Very, very respectful of that. And it's costing us chips. We're getting wrecked, basically. I think we're getting outplayed. I think we're running into it. Today we actually were probably running okay in chips, but let's take a look at the overall breakdown for today. Yeah, just not really going that well for us, unfortunately. Lost about 2,000 in chips in EV today. Lost about $80 overall and a minus 46 chip EV. Oh my God, this was rough. Anyway, we're not going to focus on that. We are going to look at overall. And we just got to keep our heads high. We got to keep focusing. We went into today's session in with a pretty good vibe. We had some good ideas. I don't think we had that many opportunities to apply what we were thinking about when we started today's session, given the fact it was so reg heavy. But, you know, I don't know. When I think about the session, there's not really too many of those hands that stick out where I'm going, man, you really let yourself down there. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at some marked hands. So just to be clear, PokerStars is fully closed. Any tools that we use now are safe for use while studying, not necessarily safe for use while you are playing. So that's why we are always careful to close PokerStars so we don't get ourselves into any trouble. And we are following TOS and all that good stuff so everyone has a nice fair game. So let's take a look at some spots here. King 9 suited, we limp at 14, we get shoved on. Sorry, this is closer to 15, in fact, 14, 15. We get shoved on, we call with King 9 suited against a known reg. And I think this is a pretty straightforward one. We can just look at the Nick Walsh TV chart pack. If you guys want these charts, very, very good for improving your spinning goes, and pretty much all you're going to need from a GTO perspective for spinning goes all wrapped up in one bundle. So all we have to do like this is images. We're looking at heads up. We're looking at the small blind. We're looking at if the big blind goes all in. And we're looking at 15 big blinds effective. King 9 suited, well within a call. King 9 suited all the way up here. So King 7 suited is even a call at some frequency. King 8 suited. King 9 is about 2 combinations within a call here. So this one is approved. Happy days. And again, we need to be careful how we apply this because it's going to apply to regs more than to unknowns. Against regs, they're going to shove the correct range, which makes King 9 suited actually very profitable. But otherwise, we're going to want to be a little bit careful. The thing about calling King 9 suited against a shove against anyone is it's just a hand that has a lot of equity. So it's not as fringe. And we could see it was within 2 combinations, for example. All right, so it folds. We shove 14 big blinds. So this one I'm not so sure about. I know that we can shove Queen 10 profitably here, but this might be a little bit lazy. There might be a better GTO way to play. So let's take a look at this from a GTO perspective. 3-way in the small blind versus the big blind at 14. And Queen 10 offsuit is a mix. So actually we're kind of in the money here. Queen 10 is partial shove, partial call, partial steal. So we're right about the fact that there is an alternative way to play this from a GTO perspective. However, shove is actually going to creep in here at 14. In fact, 13, we probably see a lot more jams, a little bit more. And then at 12, 100%. So at 12, we are shoving Queen 10 off effectively 100% of the time. So not wrong. In fact, not even slightly incorrect. It's totally fine. And that is going to run just fine. So ace deuce. Again, I don't know why I'm looking these up. This seems like the most bog standard shit, but this is kind of where my brain is going to, because I feel like a lot of the EV we're losing is in situations like this. There's an open. We're going to shove pretty much any suited ace here. As we go a bit deeper, these hands actually are 3-bet non-all-in more frequently. At 18 big blinds, 17 big blinds, 19 big blinds, this is just going to be a shove with any suited ace. Let's double check that, though. That's what we're here to do. So NWTV chart pack images, 3-way in the small blind facing a button min raise, and we're looking at 18. And we can see ace deuce suited is majority shove. Like I said, 17, 100%, right? Almost 100%. And then like I said, as we get deeper, 19 and above, we're going to see some of these hands 3-bet not all in. Ace deuce suited is a great one to do not all in here. And then at 20, kind of a mostly 3-bet not all in. And then at 22 and above, we're going to see a mix of more of these suited aces going in there. But majority shove, correct shove. I don't know why we're looking this up because we should have more confidence in ourselves, but I guess this is how we ingrain these habits. The button is folded. This player is going to raise, and we are going to call. So this was actually one that we can run in GTO Wizard. This was the one where we misclick folded. We timed out. We flopped the straight flush draw. So what I wanted to look at here, because actually I think this might be something that is solved pretty accurately in GTO Wizard. What is our line on the flop? Because I think the min-raise range from Lutar to Gal here is going to be very strong at this stack depth. So from a theoretical standpoint, I actually think we're maybe supposed to be calling with this more often than shoving. Let's take a look at the range, though, and let's figure it out that way instead. So if we copy this hand, and I fire up a window here, this one's going to be more of a post-flop discussion. I can guarantee you we're not supposed to fold the flop, but we did because we misclicked, and that was another reason to be tilted, of course. Let's take a look at analyze and upload. Yeah, this is gonna give us a blunder, obviously, but that's not the point, because we know that we timed out here. Otherwise, this doesn't matter. Let's look at the whole spot like this. So the button folds, the small blind steals at about 9 big blinds effective, and in the big blind we have Jack 10 suited, and we call, 100% call. Boom, no problem. Now on this flop, Ace 8-7, that means we have a straight flush draw. Oh wait, sorry. Sorry, it's not a straight flush draw still. It is effectively a straight flush draw, right? We're up and down. We have a gut shot, and we have the clubs going. In any case, same shit, we're not folding. So the small blind bets 2 big blinds here, which is a high frequency continuation. Now, what do we do with Jack 10 of clubs? That's the interesting question. Jack 10 suited. If we have Jack 10 of clubs, we're just going to get it all in on the flop. I think that's what we were reaching for in play. If we go back and take a look at what the small blind steals with, though, that's going to be a bit more interesting. So technically speaking, what are we raising to 2? So we've got a lot of junk. That's important to know. This is actually not as strong as I thought it would be. I don't know. It's still a pretty strong range. But overall, we just jam flop, flop, excuse me. God damn it. Yeah, we just shoved Jack 10 suited there. Again, I don't know if there's really that much science to it. It probably doesn't make that big of a difference anyway, but there's a question mark. If your opponents are the kind of players that never min raise at the stack depth, like people aren't min raising this range. Even regs are not regs are not stealing this range correctly. Regs are not doing king deuce off at this frequency and 5-3 suited at this frequency. So it becomes less strength heavy here in practice, but it's still probably a safe bet just to get in. I think against a reg, they're probably going to do enough of this that it makes sense just to jam. And we get folds, and that's really cool. Or we get called by second pair because they feel obliged to call, and we have 2 of our cards and a flush draw, blah, blah, blah. So pretty straightforward stuff, guys. Really not rocket science, but that's why we have that one saved there anyway. All right, Jack 10. It is a shove, blind v blind. So again, this is at 14. I do think this one is a mistake. I think there is a better way to play this one. Let's look at the chart pack again. 3-way in the small blind versus the big blind, and we're looking at 14 effective. So Jack 10 offsuit, actually it's the same as Queen 10. We should have looked at this one at the same time. So at 14, we're going to do some shoving, some raising, some calling. At 15, however, we are not. And what was the exact stack depth? Was it 14 and a half? So I would argue this is probably a little bit lazy. Now, shoving Jack 10 here is going to be Nash. It's going to be profitable. It's going to work. It's going to win you chips. It's just that straightforward. If you want to simplify this to push fold, it's going to work. Jack 10 is going to be well within a push. I think Jack 10 is a... Well, Jack 10 you can push for most stack depths if you want to, if we're playing the toy game. But I think probably we need to try and be a little bit more finesse here, especially against the unknown in the big blind. I feel like we might have played this player a bit. But at 14, obviously we're getting the right idea. We're aware that this is going to head towards a push around the stack depth. We're getting that correct. Probably want to do something a little bit more fancy though. All right, unmark. And last hand, the limp call at 11. I actually don't remember this one exactly, so let's take a look at the chart pack again. I mean, if it's King 10 and all that, we definitely call. Jack 10 might still have enough equity. I'd be surprised if we fold, but let's take a look. We're looking at heads up, and we're in the small blind, and the big blind has gone all in, and we are looking at 11. Jack 10 offsuit is limp call. This is correct. This is GTO. This is a reg, therefore the GTO makes sense, and we should adhere to it. It's just sad because they always have the best hand. But there you go. Nice hand. All right, so pretty much all tick marks there. The only annoying one in that bunch was where we timed out, which obviously wasn't intentional. But, frustrating, guys. Frustrating. They called it a challenge for a reason, I suppose, but we are running into it a little bit here, and hopefully we turn this around. It does remain to be seen exactly what will be possible in the long run, but we've only played 1,000 and something games. It's not a large sample. Whenever people come to me and ask, hey, do you think I should play higher stakes, blah, 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 the first thing I say is go and play a lot of volume and then come back and let's have a conversation. And I probably usually suggest at least 2,000 games, if not more. So really, until we've played, 2, 3, even then with the new format being higher variance, that still might not be enough. until we played more volume, we're not really going to know exactly where we're at. But we need to keep focusing on doing the right thing. Keep doing the review sessions. Keep doing the study. Keep focusing on what we can focus on. Try and figure out where our leaks are and improve on those. And just trust the process. Questions in the chat. John says, thank you for the stream. Yeah, thanks, mate. I'm sure we will. No problem. All right, full spin. I'll send you a message on IG in a sec, dude. Yeah, Zinsex is tricky. Aaron's asking, is there a stream tomorrow? I think there is, yes. At the moment, I'm planning on doing a stream tomorrow. I need to put together another update video for Instagram first. I can probably do that in the morning. I should have the format ready to go. It shouldn't take that long, but I say that and then it usually does. If I can finish that and get that online fast enough, I might do another quick session before we head off for before I head off for Amsterdam this weekend. But yeah, we're gonna clock there, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'm gonna go and have a little break, and then this evening I'm gonna take a look at some more study material and see if we can win a couple more points. But I hope you guys run good, and I love you, and I'll see you guys shortly. Good night.